In this video, the most jaw-dropping kidney comeback I have ever witnessed. This stage 4 patient blasted her GFR all the way back to 96 by eating a forbidden high-protein food at every meal. Guys, is everything we know about the renal diet wrong? Catherine here, I'm a doctor of natural medicine. Today, I am exposing the most shocking protocol to reverse CKD ever published. It's so insane, even the scientists literally titled the study impressive. So this 43-year-old woman was facing the Big D machine. Her GFR plummeted to a lethal 19. Her blood pressure was a runaway train, and she was literally in line for a transplant. But she never touched that machine. No, instead, a miracle happened. She used a highly controversial intervention and melted off 40 kilograms in just 6 months. That is almost my entire body weight. And that's not even the best part. Her kidney function, it went straight back to normal. What triggered this massive revival, you ask? A diet I thought would act like literal poison for a CKD patient. Brace yourselves, guys. You never saw this coming. What saved this woman is a ketogenic diet. Incredible! I would have never believed anything like this if the paper wasn't published on a reputable medical journal. So this woman, a CKD patient, not only lost weight, but she also got a huge improvement in her GFR on a keto diet. This is a diet stuffed with way more protein than any renal diet ever prescribed. I mean, is everything we know about the renal diet wrong? Well guys, hold on, put down the eggs and bacon just for a moment, because this medical mystery has a massive twist. Listen closely. This woman, she wasn't following your regular influencer-approved keto diet. Nope, her protocol was a surgical, hyper-calculated weapon designed by elite nephrologists. And here's the best part. The exact blueprint for her diet was leaked, and I will share it with you today. Yes, today, I am giving you her complete step-by-step dietary protocol. We will see exactly what foods she was eating and what supplements she was taking. And guys, something else that makes this case report incredible is the fact that she was not taking any detoxifier like renal fiber. We have seen several case reports of dialysis patients that have been able to get off the machine taking supplements like renal fiber in high doses. Alright? For example, in this old case report, a 50-year-old male bodybuilder was started on a high-dose fiber protocol. In just 2 weeks, his creatinine went from 4.5 to 1.1. This is called intestinal dialysis, but it's not what was used to save this 43-year-old woman from the machine. No, this is very different. This woman wasn't saved by renal fiber. The only supplements she was taking are a multivitamin like my RenaBest and a probiotic supplement like my RenaBiotic. And don't get me wrong, RenaBest and RenaBiotic are a must in any renal diet that works, but they have never been used to replace dialysis. Only supplements like renal fiber have been used to do that in medical literature. By the way guys, we still have a 15% discount going on the whole RenaBiotic line, but it's for this week only. So grab the coupon code down in the description if you want to make an order on renabiotic.com right now. Okay, let's get back to the keto diet that saved this woman from the machine. Like I said, no, she wasn't able to get off the machine using renal fiber. She followed a specialized keto diet with no eggs and bacon. So let's answer the question on everyone's mind. How do you even follow a keto diet with no eggs and bacon? So, the diet that saved this 43-year-old CKD patient was based on a simple principle of the renal diet, that not all protein is created equal. Like I said, there is no egg and bacon in this diet. Why? Because as the authors of the study point out, red meat is going to f your kidneys up. And what about eggs, you ask? Well, foods such as poultry, fish, eggs, and dairy products are considered a bit better, but they still don't cut it, says the paper. And here's the thing, I'm of the same opinion. This is really nothing new, alright? These protein sources, with few exceptions, they are not something I would recommend to CKD patients. So what protein sources were used in this special keto diet? Well, only 2 types of protein sources were considered safe enough for this patient. Can you guess what protein sources I'm talking about? I mean, it's not meat. Fish and dairy are forbidden as well. No egg whites either, and those are something we often give to CKD patients when they need the protein because they are phosphorus free. So what's left? There are only 2 protein sources that this woman was having in her diet. Plant-based protein, of course, and whey protein powder.
Wait, what?
By the way, let me know if anyone guessed whey, because I was totally shocked to see whey in this diet. Now, for those of you following me here regularly, whey has nothing to do with the amino acid supplements that are regularly prescribed to CKD patients. No fancy keto analogs in the diet that saved this woman. Just regular, off-the-shelf whey protein supplement. Yeah, the same stuff bodybuilders take to put on more muscles was used to save this woman. I told you this case report was incredible. This is totally groundbreaking. But why whey, you ask? I mean, everyone knows protein supplements damage the kidneys. Why was this woman prescribed them? And should you add whey to your diet as well? Let's find out. First of all, she needed the protein in order to follow a keto diet, alright? She was on a strict protocol that you should be able to see on screen. This diet was technically named very low-calorie ketogenic diet. This diet involved removing almost all of the carb sources. Fat intake was also low, while protein intake was higher, like in a normal keto. And just like in a normal keto, the goal of this diet was rapid weight loss. She needed to lose the weight before undergoing a surgical weight loss procedure, a sleeve gastrectomy. So the main goal of this diet was weight loss, but the diet also needed to protect her kidneys. This is why she was prescribed whey as her main protein source. Whey protein powder doesn't have nearly as many toxins as other animal-based protein sources have, alright? Not to mention that studies are linking whey consumption to a better gut microbiome profile. Put this together and it's easy to understand why this was the preferred protein source for a diet that aims at fast weight loss. But it wasn't the only protein source. I mean, she was eating very little fruit and vegetables, and grains were completely forbidden. And the human body doesn't react well to a whey protein only diet. This is why she was given other protein sources to add. I'm talking about safe plant-based protein sources any patient can do to their diet. Let's see what they are right now, because if there is one thing, just one thing to learn from this study is that not all protein is created equal. Some protein sources are way worse for your kidneys. So question, which protein sources should you always avoid and which are safe? Well, if you look at my infographic, it's clear that your kidneys don't really love animal-based protein. Red meat, white meat, fish, eggs, and dairy. These protein sources are so full of phosphorus and they produce so much urea and metabolic waste that they make dialysis no longer a matter of if, but a matter of when. Avoid any animal-based protein source. So let's talk about plant-based protein. They are divided into 2 categories, safe occasionally and safe every day. Legumes, nuts, and seeds are in general to be limited. They are alright if you eat them once in a while, but I wouldn't base my diet on them, alright? This is not high quality protein, meaning that it's not complete and the body will need to get some amino acids from other foods in order to use it. And that's alright for the general population, but if you have kidney disease, it means more waste product is going to be generated to get the same amount of usable amino acids. But the paper mentions the woman is getting protein from plant foods. What plant-based protein sources are actually healthy? Well guys, there are actually some plant-based foods that pack high-quality protein. First of all, these 2 whole grains, buckwheat and quinoa. Buckwheat and quinoa are very healthy, also because unlike any other whole grain, they have all the amino acids your body needs. Yeah, just like eating steak, but without the kidney-destroying toxins. Another super underrated complete protein source is chia seeds. This is a very unique food and it's one of the best plant-based protein sources you can find. Just like grains, most nuts and seeds are low-quality, incomplete protein sources. Chia seeds are the exception and they are great both on a keto and on a renal diet. Something else worth mentioning is tofu. Tofu is not usually something people associate with a keto diet, but it's actually a great source of high quality protein and low in carbs. So now we know where the protein in the diet that saved this woman is coming from. Yeah, sorry carnivores, no one ever improved their kidney function eating red meat. But someone did improve with a keto diet, albeit a very special one. And don't worry, I will show you how to put everything together in a moment. Before that, a very important question. Should you be following the diet that saved this woman? So, is it time that everyone gives up their carefully designed plant-based diet and starts eating like an Instagram influencer? Well guys, not really. While there is a lot to learn from the paper I'm showing you today, I don't think you should go on a keto diet. And not only because this woman never followed the same keto diet social media influencers are pushing. There is more to it actually. Let me explain. The biggest issue here is that this woman was suffering not just from CKD but from acute kidney injury or AKI as well. This is a sudden kidney problem that people usually recover from. In fact, in this study, her GFR went from 19 all the way back to 50 when she recovered from AKI. That was before her diet. The keto diet only accounted for her GFR improvement from 50 to 96, which is still amazing, don't get me wrong, especially because it was done in a very smart way. If you remember what I was saying before, she did the keto diet right before a sleeve gastrectomy, right? So she lost a bunch of weight with the keto diet, which is something very often recommended for this kind of surgery. But she didn't suffer from the keto rebound most keto dieters suffer from. She didn't gain all her weight back as soon as she reintroduced carbs in her diet. No, because at that point, they reduced her stomach to the size of a banana. So, she started the keto diet with a GFR of 50 and she got an impressive improvement. And this is why this study is extremely interesting. I mean, it's literally the first time in history that a CKD patient was able to follow a real keto diet, alright? And she didn't just, survive the diet. She was actually able to improve her kidney health with it. This is a first in medical literature, alright? So now the question is, what was this woman actually eating? Okay guys, as promised, let's take a look at her diet. So breakfast is all about protein, whey protein to be exact, with some added cinnamon for taste and glycemic control, and some flaxseed for the fats and fiber. Lunch is where we start to see some vegetables. These are all keto-friendly and kidney-friendly vegetables: zucchini, cucumber, lettuce, and some lemon on top. Use herbs and spices for flavor, not sodium. A generous amount of extra virgin olive oil is added on top. Like for breakfast, a scoop of protein is consumed. Snack is incredibly enough. Another scoop of protein and some walnuts as a source of fats. Then a light dinner with asparagus, green beans, both very healthy for the kidneys, and some mushrooms. Olive oil is also included, and that's it. And now you might ask, but Catherine, that's fewer calories than what I had for breakfast. Is this diet even safe? Well guys, here's the thing. This is a very low calorie diet, alright? There is no losing 40 kilograms or almost 90 pounds in 6 months if you don't seriously cut caloric intake. Simply replacing carbs with protein won't make you lose weight. You really have to cut calories. But this is not a diet I would recommend to a CKD patient, and not just because of all the protein. Extreme weight loss is very dangerous, especially if a chronic disease is present. Losing weight fast is also linked to more risk for rebound, which this woman avoided by undergoing bariatric surgery. This is why my advice about this diet is simple. Don't try it at home. Leave diets like this to the guinea pigs, to people that are being used as test subjects in a scientific experiment. If you need to lose weight, do it slowly with foods that are safe for the kidneys. And if you want to learn more about which foods are best for a renal diet, my video up here is for you, and this is all for today. Thank you for watching. God bless you all. Bye!